Hello, and here we are again. We told you we're going to be coming live all day today. We're bringing in the experts in the industry, our RCS partners, part of the community, who are sharing and really bringing important information and practices to all of you, the roofing contractors. One of our favorites, Western Colloid. And we have Greg and Hal here. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. You're welcome for having.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
So when we kind of start, I remember everybody, this is the last day of the show. We're all just a little kind of fun at this point. Could you know what? I'd really love you to start out with an introduction. So, Greg, can you introduce yourself, your company, and kind of your history in the industry, which is so impressive.
Okay. Well, Western Colloid is a manufacturer of fluid-applied roofing systems, roof coatings. We go a little bit beyond roof coatings. We manufacture products that are others might call roof coatings, but they're used into systems on roofs, and we've done that for since the early 70s. So we've been around a long time manufacturing these fluid-applied systems that are applied over a myriad of existing roofs, from gravel to TPO to PVC to BUR, modified bitumen, metal. We have systems for all of those, and for us this isn't new. As I said, we've been doing it since the 70s, so we've learned a lot of lessons along the way. And myself, I've been applying coatings first as a contractor back in the 60s, up until got into manufacturing of both coatings and modified bitumen. So I have a little bit of track record in manufacturing. And one of the main things, our takeaway is that the contractor is the most important person out there in the marketplace. They are, along with the building owner. You have to have a building and a building owner to
Right.
for a job. But the intercourse of business is a contractor and a building owner. That's where the contracts are. The rest of us are just here to help them along their way. We either provide materials, services, equipment, but it takes those two. So the first thing we understood, and especially we were started by a contractor in the early days, so we understood the importance of a contractor having the right support, training, the right products, and in support, that's become our keystone for the rest of our company. We make great products, but we also train contractors how to install them, and not only how to install the products, but how to install them efficiently and make money at it. We don't just go out and say you have to do it this way because this is what the spec says. There may be a faster, better way, and we'll train them in that way, because if they can get something done in 1 week that takes the next guy 2 weeks and still do a good job, they're making more money. If they're making more money, they're happier with us.
Right.
So it makes us more successful.
And everybody is successful.
Right.
And you know the part I love is Western Colloid was creating sustainable, long-lasting roofs over old roofs that didn't have to go into a dump before it was even cool.
Right. Right.
I mean, you were doing stuff that now everybody's talking about. You were doing that 40, 50 years ago.
Right.
If I have my numbers right.
Exactly.
I'm not going to try to do that. But yeah.
Right, about 50 years, and then, 10 or 15 years ago, we started doing all the testing.
Right.
FM Global, Underwriters Laboratory, ICCES, Miami-Dade, and we've spent, $1 million of testing to qualify these systems and these assemblies.
Yeah.
So we're not just telling you they work. We have the testing to prove it now.
Right,
so
right.
That helps, the consultant and the building owner and the
everything else. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. We got to keep it up here. But no, that's the thing, is that I think people forget that this has been going on and it's tried and tested. Where other people are trying just to get into it now, they don't have the specifications. They don't have, the testing or the training. And I think, Hal, you do so much that way. What are you seeing with products? What are you seeing on the testing? There's a lot of products that aren't making the grade, right?
There's some new hail tests that are very, very difficult, and we build our assemblies to match certain system specification lengths.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20-year warranties. So, we've been doing the same thing. We've just been doing it better.
Right. You know what I also love is you bring your contractors on, and their whole business can be around your systems,
Right.
Western Colloid system. So, and Greg, you told me when we talked last, just a couple weeks ago, that you aren't having huge material shortages. You're able to get stuff out.
We all have some shortages, but we've done a good job of managing those shortages. There's portions of our membrane that can be delayed a little bit. The acrylics, the resins are still, but because our systems are built multi-layer with most of the products that build the waterproofing are available today
Right.
and tomorrow. We're getting a lot of business now because of the long delays in insulation fasteners and what have you. They're switching back to our systems, and it's a benefit to some of the contractors that have had projects on the books for years, and now for a year or months, and now find out they can't get it done. So we're doing a pretty good job of that. It's not perfect. There's
Right.
but our delays might be a week to 3 weeks instead of
6
2 months
months,
to
yeah.
6
Yeah,
months.
six. Well, and it's not just. I mean, as contractors, if you're looking to say, I really want to diversify, or I want to bring on a system, or I want to even focus in on the types of roofs that you're doing. Greg, talk about the training, because I just think that's so key.
We do. We have several employees that our original owner was a contractor for years, and his and doing fluid applied. His 25-year superintendent became our training guy
Okay.
now.
Wow.
Moved over to us, and so he understands how to do it right, but also how to do it efficiently. And we believe that we make better partners with contractors if they're more successful and they understand how to put it on in the most efficient way, and properly but efficiently. And that's what our guys travel to. We're strong in the west
Right.
of the Mississippi. We have a plant in Texas, 2 in California, 1 in northern, 1 in southern, and our guys travel all over, and they work with those crews, their crews on the job, or in many cases we have guys that come out and work with one of our big contractors in Southern California who've been doing it for 20 years.
Love it.
And they'll let 1 or 2 of their guys come up and work with them on the roof.
Yeah.
And get the first-hand training, and that's invaluable. It kind of makes their eyes roll back in their head when they realize they can, through the right kind of process, they can do 2,000 squares in 3 or 4 weeks instead of 2 or 3 months.
Yes.
That some of the others are, but they could, and not everybody has to be big for us either. We have a range of contractors that some of them work out of 5-gallon pails and do small work. We still support them. To guys that, like you said, specialize in just our systems. Usually there'll be a 2-system company. They'll do single ply and our fluid applied. Because in the wintertime, face it, this is a water-based system, and you can't put our system on in January when it's either 25 degrees out or pouring down rain. So having a couple disciplines helps. And we have some contractors that just do 1 or 2 of our jobs a year. We appreciate all of them, and we do tune-ups. We will train somebody's crew, and a year later, some of those guys have moved on, or they've got Bob down at the job in a different city, and they need Bill to be trained, and so we'll go back in and retune their crews and get them up to speed and up to efficiency, so that they can get the products on, get them down, and do it in a timely manner. Because most of the money that contractors make, at least in our part of the world, is off of the labor, how efficiently they can get the system on. If it takes them an extra week, they lose money. If it takes them a week less, they make better money.
Right.
And if they can do it in a shorter amount of time and still get it done right, then they're happy with not only our products but us as a company.
And it's less labor.
Right.
That's the thing. They can start with good training. They can go from a larger crew to a smaller crew, and then be able to do more jobs or deal with the labor shortage.
We're often commented on, because when somebody will come out and look at one of these jobs going on, and it could be a sizable job. That's the other thing. We have tankers in our local region. We supply. We're not short of transportation. We have about 5,000 gallon tankers that we park on job sites if the job is big enough.
Yeah.
And that makes it very efficient to put the systems on. But where an average contractor not understanding the systems with a sizable job might allot 6 to 10 guys for a 1,000 square job or a 500 to 1,000 square job. Our regular contractors, they'll have 3 to 4 guys on that same
Wow,
job.
that's a difference.
So labor's always a problem. You need
Right.
labor, but you can get a lot done with a much smaller crew because you have a pump, you have hoses, you have
Yeah.
3 guys on the roof, and you don't. If you're using bulk, you don't have to even have a guy on the ground. Everything is self controlled from the roof. So
That's great.
If you can lessen your labor load, that's a big thing these days.
Yeah. Real quick, I'm going to change topic just a second, but I'd like both of you to talk about the RCMA because you both have been very involved in it. You're award winners, your leadership, all of that. Tell everyone, we actually interviewed Dan and
great.
Chadwick last night. What are we looking at coming up with RCMA and the Roof Coating Manufacturers Association on some of the events and stuff coming up?
Well, I work mostly with the Cool Roof Rating Council as I'm on the
Okay.
board of directors there. So I'm like a liaison between the RCMA and the Cool Roof Rating Council.
Oh, awesome.
So, and I do a lot of technical work with the RCMA and
Yeah.
the CRRC. So Greg's a past president, and so
Right.
he loves to talk about this stuff.
Well, we have some key issues. You know, the roofing industry. I think they became enlightened with our new leader of the NRCA. Reed
Yes.
Ribble,
Reed Ribble.
Yeah.
brought a lot of things to the forefront, and we understood how much more we could be in the overall industry of the United.
If we
of the
work
entire
together.
country. Yeah,
Correct.
and that we can better ourselves, and we can, you know, I'm not saying we're stepped on, but we're never been considered a key
Yeah,
industry
exactly.
in there, and because of that, there's been a lot of rules and regulations that have, you know, we're easy pickings. It's
Right.
like if we're going to reduce smog, we won't get any pushback from the roofing industry. Let's regulate that.
Right.
We can't regulate cars because they have billions of dollars to spend on
Their support.
Yeah.
and what have you. We can't regulate some of the bigger industries because they have billions of dollars to spend in Washington. Here's one of the little ones. Well, there's ways around that, and that's what we're at right now. We have a key meetings coming up with the EPA. We want to be a very
That's awesome.
supportive of our environment,
Yes.
but we want to do it in a very sustainable way. You know, you can't just cut out everything. You know,
Right.
all of us need certain things to
make the products
to
work
make
properly.
product work.
Right.
You know, we don't have the technology to cut out zero VOCs right
Right.
now. But,
Yeah.
So we have to be able to work within the boundaries.
And
Yeah.
there are some zero VOC things, but they get very expensive. So then all of a sudden, it's the building owner suffers. It's like, well, I used to be able to get a roof for this. Now I have to pay 4 times that. Well, that's because we've cut
product.
everything out. So what we've done is, you know, we've taken 90% of everything we can out of there and still give them products, and through the technology that the resin and the raw material suppliers have brought up. But we can't make everything zero. We have to do it in steps along the way.
Yes.
And we've done that. We want to be responsible, but we also want to be. We want it to be a fair playing field that we don't just get pushed back on, and that's something we're doing at the RCMA. We're making our voices heard
Directly with the EPA.
I love it.
and
That's
and through with the NRCA
Yeah.
and other
So we don't fight the
groups.
EPA. We work with them because
With-
that's the only way you can get anything done in Washington. You know.
Exactly.
Right.
You realize you just gave me the article idea, and this is going to be an article that we're going to do on what you're doing with the EPA. I love that. How
We're working
I
on
think it's
Method
awesome.
24 right now.
Method 24. Okay.
Okay.
Well, we'll be following up so that all these folks know what you're doing to help them. Because I mean that you're right. It has to be sustainable, and from the people who've been sustainable for 50 years and saving roofing from going into landfills, you gentlemen are the right ones to do it.
Thank you very much.
I'll give you just a real quick example. The EPA has sunsetted Energy Star roofs. In other words, roofs are no longer listed as we were one of the first
Yeah.
in the building envelope to be an Energy Star ratings for reflectivity, emissivity, cooling.
Yeah.
And now it's we did all that. We're taking it out. You know, after we all invested in it, after we all spent money and used the Energy Star logos that we spent the money to do the right.
Right.
That's
energy
going.
savings.
That's going away in a couple months,
And
and
they just nope. We're not supporting that anymore. We've done all we can with roofing, and
they didn't see the value in it. But we're going back at the EPA, and we're adding value to it in another way, energy savings, and it was always energy savings, but
Right.
we're going low peak demand, and we're working with them to try and reinvigorate that program.
Because they need to realize we have billions of acres of roofing that could all be energy saving, that could give ROI to building owners, and the building owners need to know the good ones from the bad ones.
Right.
Yep.
And so, well, gentlemen, I think we are at it. I have to tell you, as always, this is awesome. I want you all to know that Western Colloid has just come out with an ebook that is on our site. It is very good. It is about training and how to work with manufacturers, to ask for training. It came directly from Greg, and we'll also have a couple other ebooks that are going to be coming out too. So be sure to download those, and be sure to visit Western Colloid's directory on Roofers Coffee Shop. Huge amount of information that will help you grow your business. So, gentlemen, thank you for being here today.
Take care.
Thanks,
Thank
Hank.
you.